Hello everyone, this is my 2007 Ford Ranger single cab rear wheel drive, and I'll be showing you all how to put some new shackles on it. Well, I'm lowering it in this case, but whatever application you want to lift it or lower, it'll probably be the same, except you're just going to install different shackles. This is all. But what you want to have, well, I would advise buying something that comes with hardware. So like, instead of just buying a shackle, buy something with bolts in it. It saves you a lot of time trying to look for bolts and shit. So like, you will need shackles and brackets. You can go without buying the brackets. You will just have to reinstall the old ones with hardware, because the OEM ones, they come with rivets straight to the frame, big old industrial size rivets, and you can't really get the top bolt out right here because it's on the frame like this. You can't really get the top bolt out without removing the entire bracket, so keep that in mind. I just bought the new part because I just want it to look shiny and good in there. New parts are always good. Nice new shiny hardware always looks good. So let's get into this. So for this, mainly to get the leaf spring bolts off, I'm going to be using breaker bar, some long ratchets. They come off with 21 millimeter bolts, and some type of impact would be great. If you had a giant 1,200 pound DeWalt or Milwaukee, that'd be perfect, but I don't got that, so we're using the breaker bars. Sockets, some type of penetrating fluid, because those shits are, for a Ford Ranger, it's gonna be rusted on there pretty good, unless you got some like show quality shit. Most people don't, but yeah, that's all I'm using for this. I'll let y'all know what size these bolts are that come with this set of brackets later in the video when I get to that, installing that. So first we're gonna put blocks on the truck to keep it from moving. Jack the truck off, get these wheels off, put it on jack stands in the rear, and yeah, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. So blocking the truck off so she don't roll down my damn driveway. So it'd be better to use actual wheel chucks for this, but I don't got those. I don't feel like buying those because I'm lazy and dumb. But these will work just perfectly fine for what you want them to do. Put this under there so this shit don't go in the street when I jack it up. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna jack the car up now. Also, another thing, you want to put the truck on the jack stands, and then while you're taking the bolts off for the leaf springs, you're going to want to have the jack underneath of it, kind of relieving pressure a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to do that. And then you're going to want to keep the axle on the jack while you're working on it, so you can easily adjust when you need to adjust. I jack my truck up from the damn differential. You can do whatever the hell you want to. Probably not good, but I don't care. It's my truck. Oh, there we go. See, now those blocks are holding the truck in place from rolling. Oh, there we go. So usually while doing regular type of maintenance on your truck or any car with an axle, you're probably going to put these jack stands underneath of the axle, but since we need to move the axle, we're not going to do that. So what you want to do, right here, the front leaf spring bracket, we're not messing with this at all. We're only messing with the rear one. Gonna want to take these jack stands. I need to jack the truck up more. Hold on, I'll get back to that. So with these jack stands, you're gonna want to put it right here on the leaf spring, the round bit right here. Get that thing underneath of there. I'm gonna have it pretty high up so you can move the axle up and down however you need to, but right here is the safest place to put it. Putting it right here on the frame, it can kind of like grab it and tip it and all that crap, but it's best to put it right here so it don't do all that moving around and crap when you let it down. Just cradle it real nice. There we go. Let's do the other side now. I've got both of my jack stands there where they're supposed to be. Slowly let down the jack. And they caught it real nice. See how they didn't jump or move or anything? That's what you want. And then slip or slide. That cradle spot right there is right exactly where you want to be. Put your rims somewhere safe. Some people put their wheels under their car in case the shit falls, but I'm not doing that shit. I love these rims. I wouldn't hurt those things for nothing. Taking the wheels off. Then after this, we're gonna get to wrenching on these bolts, these shackle bolts, only the bottom one, and then we're gonna have to use an angle grinder to cut. I don't know if I said that previously in the video, but we have to cut these rivets off because there's no other way to get to this top bolt other than cutting the rivets off. But first, you're gonna want to get this bottom one out, get the leaf spring out of the way, and then do all that bullshit later. But getting the wheels off, let's go. So the next thing, hello license plate. The next thing we're gonna do after taking the wheels off is get this damn bumper out of here, because this bumper, the brackets for it kind of get in the way of the suspension, so it's just easier to not have it there than to try to fucking maneuver around it. So I'm gonna do that. These take 4 18mm bolts, and yes, let's get right to that. Clip to when I have it done. Before you go in here and start wrenching and crap, you want to make sure these sockets are out of the way. I got these LED things, so they're not like regular, they're just, yeah, whatever. But oh, that one wasn't in there. That's awesome. Okay, take this stuff out so it don't get damaged when you're trying to take off the bumper. This would be great to have 2 people for, but I do not have 2 people, so I'm going to do it with my arms and my legs. There we go. And there are the 18mm bolts right there. Pop them suckers off, put them somewhere safe, drop it down. It's pretty heavy. It's all right. Sun's starting to get a little low, but it's all right. So we get your penetrating fluid. I'd advise before doing all this shit, get that damn bolt all nice and lathered up. Now this bumper's out of the way, it's gonna be a lot easier to get to these shackles and move around and maneuver under here. So I'm gonna take these shackles off. I'm using 21mm socket because they are 21mm bolts. Be better to have a wrench and an impact to do this, but I got hand tools, so let's do it. Breaker bar, ball busting ratchet, let's go. Damn it. So this is kind of the number that I'm doing here. The ratchet on one side, breaker bar on the other. Fucking. Get it right up on out of there. You're also probably gonna need a hammer to get this fucking, and a push pin or screwdriver or something to get this damn bolt out of here, because this shit is gonna be in there tight. And it's gonna be rusty since you have a Ford Ranger. So I have the bolts off. I had it off the other day, so it wasn't that crazy difficult, but with the shackles that I have, I'm gonna wanna keep this bolt. I'm gonna wanna keep this bolt because I only have ones for the top. That's what came with it. So you're gonna wanna, if you don't have the one for the bottom, you keep the one for the bottom. Still good, whatever. So now essentially what I'm doing, I got this screwdriver up in here, and I'm just, there's the bolt right here, getting this shit tapped out. Uh-oh. Come on now. There we go. That thing ejected, yo. This sucker out. Put the fucking nut on there so you don't fucking lose that son bitch. For some reason, passenger side is a hell of a lot less rusty. This shit looked good for being 140,000 miles. Get this screwdriver up out of here. After getting these lower bolts out of here, you can't really get anything up in here. The bed's right here and the fucking bolt's right there, and it's like locked in. It's stupid. You have to grind these out to put new shit in. But after you get these bolts out, these big old stupid dumb ugly bolts out, take the axle, drop it down. Be careful, like you kind of don't want to put too much pressure on your damn shocks, obviously. So when you let it down, just put it back up, just one pump. So you don't fucking, I don't know how that could damage your shocks, but it could. I don't know, don't ask me. But yeah, next thing we're gonna do is get the angle grinder out and start grinding these damn rivets out. what God intended for it to be. It was bolts, not rivets. Fuck Ford. Now I got the DeWalt angle grinder. Shout out to DeWalt because they're. Now I'm not gonna say anything crazy. Sorry, too soon. But this is a very worn out flat disc, but I hope it works. But yeah, I'm using a flat disc because you're kind of grinding out the face of this bracket, whatever, to kind of get it out. So I got my long cord right here, and we're gonna grind down the faces of these. If I can't really get it with the flat disc, I'll probably switch out just to a regular disc and just chop the front of it off, which is probably what I'm gonna end up doing. But I'm just gonna start out with the flat disc just because I can and I want to. So now, with my angle grinder, of course, I've zipped these bolts off, and now I'm gonna see what the hell it takes to get this thing off of the face of this. So, right there. Got my persuader in hand. Let's see if she wants to perhaps come loose or stay on there. Oh my God. That thing ain't budging. Oh my God. Okay. I'm gonna have to do some hammering. Hold on. So after some lots, well, here's the other side of the bolt. You can't really get to that without anything. But after some angle grinding and some persuasion, she'll come out. Instead of using the pry bar, I wouldn't really necessarily pry bar off. You kind of want to, so this was right here. You kind of just want to grind it until like it's just flush. There's like a clear circle right there in a line that you can see. But bang it up a little bit. Kind of hit the top of it while it's in there. See if you can get like a tiny gap between this plate and the frame. And then what I did is I took my trusty, rusty screwdriver. See, look, got it like kind of right between that frame and that bracket, and kind of tapped it in there with my old sledgehammer. Bust these damn pins out. And yeah, that's it for the driver's side. I mean passenger side. Now we got to do the driver's side. Another purgatory. Of course it's going to go like 10 times quicker, but we're still good. It's all right. She is still good. Let's get, and then you want to take like a screwdriver, trusty rusty flat blade screwdriver. Just poke those fucking things on out. Oh, that one's gonna need a hammer, but you get the gist, I assume. So here's another reason. Well, I think on the Rangers, I think they come stock with two little bolts right there instead of rivets. But this is what I mean. You gotta wear that damn protection, because I was up here grinding this shit out. She decided to catch and blow up on me. Wear safety glasses, wear your gloves. Don't be dumb. So here's what I was talking about with that hammer and the screwdriver technique. I don't know if you can see what I'm working on, but the bracket is right here somewhere. Take this thing. Might be a gap in the No, I can't. I'll have to grind some more. Officially have both of these brackets out. I think on the driver's side on the Ford Ranger, for some reason they put, I don't know where it went, that thing with bolts on the back side of that for some reason. I don't know why they did it on this side. Maybe probably because of the wiring harness right there, and they needed these bolts instead of whatever else, what are these rivets. But she's out now, and we're gonna get to mocking up the brackets and installing them. So with these shackles, they come with grease fitting, but now I'm mocking them up how they would be. I'm keeping that grease fitting in a place where I can service it if I ever need to get to it easily. So these bolts got these shackles in here mocked up. The bolt that came with this shackle on the right side is a 21 millimeter, and this head of the bolt is a 19 millimeter or an 8. No, it's an, what is it? It's an 18 millimeter. So I'm gonna get to tightening that, and I'm mock these up with the hardware on the truck, and then get them tightened down to spec. Spec, whatever, tight is tight, ugga dugga is whatever. But started at like 3 o'clock. Now it's sunset. We're getting it done. Now have these shackles mounted into the brackets. And I got this hardware. This is the left side. I got the bleeder tip. Not bleeder tip, fucking grease fitting to the outside, so where I can service it easily if I ever need to. Same with this one. This is the right side. So let me get under the car, the truck, I mean, and get these suckers in there. Look at that thing sitting in there all nice and shiny and beautiful. But yeah, bolts that got in it, used the wrench, used the impact drill. I don't know what the torque spec on these would be, but I know that the torque spec on these shackle bolts are about 83 foot-pounds. So me using my stubby ratchet that goes to like 200 or 100, whatever, that's more than enough. I'm not gonna torque it. I don't got a torque wrench, but it'll work. Ugga Duggas work. And that is on there, and that's not going anywhere. So now I have gotten everything bolted in. Got everything bolted in. Now it's time to jack this axle back up or back down, depending on whether you're doing a lift or a drop. And we're gonna bolt these things back in and see how fucking sick the truck looks. So I had to stop recording because the sun got real low and I couldn't really see anything. It would be good to record, but here's my truck's gap before I lowered it, and here it is after. This is a 2-inch drop, but it's more like a 1.5 with those shackles. But you're basically just going to want to do everything in the reverse order that you did it. The bumper and wheels being last. And you also might have to do some minor bolt clearance things for the bracket. I had to modify the lowering stuff because it wouldn't really fit when you let the truck down, and it's just a bunch of bolts. But it wasn't anything too crazy that like messed it up or anything, but you might have to do some modifications to the bracket. Not the shackles, but the bracket and the bolts. The bolt stuck out a little bit, hit one of the parts on the bracket, so I kind of chopped it short or whatever.